Blue or Fort Wayne. He kind of goes between both the scenes. And then we got Dr. Stank, who is, of course, a resident Duck Hunt player. All right, I think this is updated. All right, so we're going to Battlefield to start things out here. Interesting pick here as the first stage. I won't lie, I'm not super familiar with what kind of stages Duck Hunt wants to prioritize, but I feel like Battlefield can definitely help out Fantasy here in a setting like this. You know, you've got like platform usage, and Corrin is a character that loves to poke and keep you in the air. But I could see it definitely playing into Dr. Stank's favor if he can kind of use the platforms to just like control space. So we'll see how that ends up playing out. Right now we got Fantasy taking the first stock. I'm sorry, I didn't really see a whole lot of that first stock there. I was getting the overlay set up. But right now, Dr. Stank's like not making this super big of a gap here. He's doing a pretty good job of just kind of cornering Fantasy and just getting him in the air. Corrin as a character is like relatively slow compared to other members of the cast, and I think Duck Hunt definitely has like tools to slow down Corrin in situations like that. That's probably what we'll be seeing a lot of. On top of that, we'll just probably be seeing like good positioning from Dr. Stank using Can and his other tools that he has as Duck Hunt. Good SDI there to get out of the charged F smash. Are we live, by the way? Okay, we're live. Just making sure. We're seeing a ledge trap situation being set up here by Dr. Stank, trying to get this kill on Fantasy, who's been kind of staying at 133 for a little bit now. Yeah, it looks a little bit rough to for Dr. Stank to try and get a kill here on Fantasy, especially just because like Corrin has all these disjoints, and that's like probably the biggest thing against Duck Hunt is like up close he's kind of stubby. The gunman though is going to end up taking out Fantasy, so Dr. Stank, he's got 100% down right now, but he is going to take the stock. Oh, and we're seeing the F smash on shield. Not going to kill quite yet. It doesn't have a whole lot of power from like that range. The tipper is where the damage really comes in play, and you're not going to get tipper off the charge. And Dr. Stank getting a quick 60% here on Fantasy. Like, this is almost looking to kill percent, so good tech there. B is going to kill anyways. So Fantasy's going to be taking that stock with 60% right now. Dr. Stank's got to find a way to close out this gap. Ooh, I like the down smash into Can. Okay, going for up air off the top. Not quite going to get it. All right, we're seeing a situation be set up by Dr. Stank here. Holy shit, what was that? I don't even know what that was. All right, Stank is taking the next stock. He did what I said. He closed the gap. So now even stocks going to the final one for this game. Now, I believe this is a best of 3. This is winner's quarters, if I'm not mistaken. The winner is going to play the winner of myself versus Kleb. So we are still in best of 3 territory. So winning this game 1 is really going to be monumental for a set like this, especially with 2 players that, in my opinion, are very, very even skill-wise. So, yeah, anyways, Dr. Stank is, like, really starting to get his momentum going now. 87% on Fantasy. Like, he's taken the lead when he was down by a pretty substantial amount before this stock started. So, definitely good adaptations from him here. Oh, I love the Can setup. He's the gunman to kind of bait a jump and then use the Can to catch him. Not the taunt. He said my B, guys. It wasn't intentional. Oh, he's going up there. All right, good down air to try and get rid of the Can there. Not quite going to kill. That sent him the wrong way. Like, he's getting all these Can hits. It's just going to make it even easier once you get a hit on him. You know, he's got a lot of tools as Duck Hunt that, like, are fairly good kill moves. Up air is a really, really good one, in my opinion. I think Duck Hunt up air is probably his best move. But the Can itself is going to do it there at ledge, and Dr. Stank is going to be taking game 1 of this set. All right, how do I update this chat? I found it. All right, Dr. Stank hyping himself up right now. Yo, what's up?
Good legs are going crazy.
Someone call me.
I know, I see.
All right. I thought I heard my name. So we're going to FD here, polar opposite of the last one. I think this is also an interesting pick here. It's definitely going to be a lot easier for Dr. Stank to kind of set up here on this stage. But maybe Fantasy has some kind of play here he wants to do by using the more flat stage. I think definitely a lot of what he was struggling with in the last game came down to juggling and stuff like that. So I could see that here, but I think the flat stage is really going to give Dr. Stank, a big battlefield that Fantasy has to move through, and being like a somewhat slow character, not like insanely slow, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for Fantasy to make these approaches, but he might not get juggled as hard. So interesting trade-off to see here. But anyways, to start things off, we've got both players kind of going right in here. We're both kind of at like mid percents right now, so nothing like crazy has happened yet. Okay, good parry there from Dr. Stank. And then their back air is going to take first stock. So Fantasy, just like last game, is going to be going into stock 2 with a pretty good lead. And now Dr. Stank's just kind of got to play the waiting game here to try not to take too much percent and find a good kill on Dr. Stank. Or on Fantasy, my bad. I think his Duck Hunt, it can be kind of hard to kind of get a kill because a lot of the times you have to either set up for it or get really lucky with one of your moves. So you kind of have to be really, really patient in situations like this. I kind of relate, being a Link player myself. It's not as bad of a problem as Duck Hunt has, in my opinion, but there are definitely times where it's like your character isn't really fast enough on his own to just like say like, oh, I just want to run up and get this kill. You do kind of have to position a little bit, use your traps and tools, and that's what we're probably going to see here. Raw F smash there coming out from Fantasy, not quite enough to kill. I don't think it hit the tipper. But back here is going to take it. So this is not looking super great for Dr. Stank here. Fantasy is kind of running away with this lead, and again, it's going to be kind of hard for him to find this kill. I think I'm now seeing that the platforms definitely helped out Duck Hunt because he's got a lot more angles to work with all of his shit. And it definitely makes it a lot easier for him to be like, okay, I can control this space. Oh, and the pin. Not going to tech that. 3 stock from Fantasy for game 2. We're going to game 3. Last game of the set.
Let's go, Joseph! Yeah! Fantasy! Fantasy! I'm not joining you, but I would. Fantasy! Fantasy! Battlefield, small battlefield. The B-Town. I remember when it was the B-Town zoners. That was the B-Town stories.
All right, and it looks like we're going to be going to PS2 here for the final game of the set. We're finally getting a normal game. I think PS2 is probably a pretty good neutral ground between the two we were seeing earlier this set. It's still a pretty big, long stage, but you've got the platforms, which Duck Hunt can kind of work with. So overall, just a pretty standard one from what we're going to see. Just starting off here, we got Dr. Stank running to the corner. He's immediately going to get set up right here. 30% very fast on Fantasy here, and like he's really going to need to work on this. Duck Hunt's the type of character where you set up your traps, you get your damage, and then you got to use all of your tools to kind of lock them in a position to get a kill. Meanwhile, Fantasy, he's just kind of, picking his swings, using Corrin as you do. Corrin's just like going to get through a lot of this projectile stuff pretty well with her sword, but it's her speed that's the main issue in a matchup like this. And I think the main thing we're seeing from Fantasy that's really, really good is he's doing a good job of just converting, which is what Corrin does as a character. But you'll see, like, he'll get a landing there and be like, oh, I can back air here, and it kills at like 70%. Probably not that early, but nice up smash there from Dr. Stank. Going to be taking the first stock. I believe this is the first time the whole set he's actually taken the first stock. So he's actually going into this one with the lead, which is pretty good for him. But the neutral B there from Fantasy is going to catch the air dodge in. So we're going to an even stock for stock number 2. The can is not quite high enough to get the damage there. I think Fantasy, I don't know if that was like a DI thing or if it was just PS2 platform being a little bit higher. Anyways, we got Dr. Stank just like setting up on ledge here. He's playing the mini game right now, and Fantasy's got to find a way to break through it. He's just going to keep piling up that damage, playing the Duck Hunt mini game. Nice back here there. Oh. He hit himself. All right, trying to go for up smash there. He almost got it, but Fantasy was able to jump away. Again, it's going to be kind of hard for him to just get a raw kill as Duck Hunt, so this is Fantasy's chance to just be like, all right, I'm going to play this slow, take my swings, get you to like 80%, and then I've got some kill moves that I can go for you on. Ooh, okay, can setup coming in here. Not quite high enough. Oh, he's going to catch him in place with the gunman, and up air is going to take it. He had him just like locked in place there. Really good from Dr. Stank coming out there with a pretty good advantage going into the last stock. So, yeah, considering how much of a wash last game was, he really must have figured something out here. I also think the usage of the platforms is definitely helping him a lot more, considering he has a lot more angles and stuff that he is able to set up. Oh, and back here, they're going to take it. We're going into last stock of last game. This is like a really, really even set. We're going to see Dr. Stank chip on a little more damage. He's setting up some weird shit here. Oh, up air, barely not hitting there. That would have killed. Setting up the gunman. Not quite going to hit. I think Fantasy got hit out of it. I'm not really sure. This character's weird. But, like, Dr. Stank is just racking up this damage. Oh, the pin not... He was trying to bait something there. I see the vision from Fantasy. But now, yeah, Dr. Stank's just got, like, the whole stage on lock at this point. And the gunman, not quite going to do it. Going to send him right to the corner of PS2. But, like, this is Dr. Stank's field of play. Fantasy has got to find a way to, like, start some momentum here. And the gun is going to do it. So, really good job for Dr. Stank getting the upset over the 2 seed. He's going to be moving on to winner's semis.